welcome back. Hope you are still following the tutorials. I hope you find these tutorials useful. We have an introduction, and we have been the previous tutorial was about frames per second, and this tutorial we're going to talk about QuickTime Player Pro and have a look at the user interface there. You know, the QuickTime Saver Pro version is really nice. It's not expensive to upgrade to this. You can use it for slowdown, and you can use it for information. I need to know it's a really quick editor, so it's really nice to have QuickTime Player Pro together with more advanced editors or more easy editors like iMovie or Cineform or like that. But I'm going to give you a really quick information about tutorial number 4 and number 5. Number 4, we are going to do slow motion with video shot done with the Canon 7D, and tutorial number 5 we are going to do slow motion with video shot done with GoPro Hero 3. And as you can see, we have a lot of different options for frames per second, 50, 60, 100, and even way up to 240 frames per second. And we are going to do edit in QuickTime Pro, iMovie, GoPro Cineform, After Effects, and Premiere Pro. But right now we are going to have a look at the QuickTime Player Pro 7. This is just a manus, remember card for me, so I kind of remember what I'm going to talk about. So right now we are going to first have a look at the file. Here we have a file here, and when you right click on the file, okay, when you right click on the file, you can have some information from that as well. As you can see, dimension, it's 1122 times 635, and as you can see the codec as well, and some other information as well, the size of the file and as well. But it's when you kind of open the file and look at it, we can open this file because it's so fun. No, it's already open in there. I was going to open the other file here, this one. When you open this file, and to your information, both this file here and this file here is in the source file. If you go to my blog, yetanothersolution.blogspot.com, you can download this if you want it. Okay, so then when you have opened this and you are on this file, you can then go in under Window, Show Movie Inspector, and then you right away there get the information about the frames per second. You get also other information about the format, and you get information about the size. It's the current size is 1280 times 720. But this is a tutorial about frames per second, and it's really nice to really know how many frames per second is this video shot done with. So for fun, we can take this down a little bit, and then we can for fun have a look at, okay, I'm gonna take that source file down now. We can for fun have a look at the movie inspector on this one as well, because I think it's really fun just to read all the frames there, you know, 240 frames per second. So then we know that the 240 frames per second, all the frames are there. So the next thing we are going to look at then is that when you have a video shot and you want to have a quick look at how is it in half speed, you can go into show audio video controls, and here you can see, here you can speed it down in a half speed directly. So you know, this half speed with this video shot is done really fast in the QuickTime Pro version. So if we want to do that here with this clip as well, this is only a 2-second clips because we are going to slow that down 10 times. So if we go to audio video controls, it's kind of difficult to see it because yeah, it's a little bit because I have this screen filming at the same time. No, it's a little bit better, yeah. Now you can see it's a half speed, but you know, it's the cross country going really fast there, and it's just a 2-second clip. So I'm now going to already show you one of the secrets, and I'm in fact going to tell you about later on. I'm going to do it really fast, so you have to see it on the tutorial. I don't remember exactly the number. I think it's the next number, but if you want to slow down, you just copy the video in the timeline there, Control C, and you know I'm going to take it in 9 times. You know, 9 together with the first one is 10 times. 1, that is 2 now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then if you select all, I'm going to show you this in detail later on, and add selection and scale. And now we have this smooth slow motion with 10 times slower. So, you know, as you can see there, QuickTime Pro is a really nice thing to have, because then you can have a really fast look at how will it be when you're going to put this video into a more advanced editor. And then you know that, okay, this 10 times faster is super nice. So the next thing we are going to have a look at, I have to see on the manus here. Yes, that's a really important thing. How to reveal the fake slow motion. Are all the frames there? The reason for asking this is that I still remember in the start when I was going to do editing in iMovie, I remember that I had a 50 frames per shot, 50 frames per second shot, and imported it into iMovie, and the iMovie just took away half the frames without telling me exactly. It told me about something about the frames, but when I exported it, it's even when I slowed down, you know, it's slowed down from 30 or 25 frames per second. So then in the old versions of iMovie, we missed the some of the frames. But the newer versions of iMovie, it's really nice that you can even control 240 frames per second. I don't know exactly the top limit, because my camera with the fastest frames per second is in fact the GoPro Hero 3 Black Edition with the 240 frames per second. But again, back to the detail here, how to reveal the fake slow motion. If you see these 2 birds here, you know, this is the bird you have seen already in earlier tutorials. This is the original shot, you know, this slow motion like this. So, you know, this is a smooth slow motion. And this on the right hand side here is the bird for this illustration, I did it 4 times faster and I slowed it down again. So, you know, it's the same speed, but when I did it 4 times faster, I slowed it down again, then some of the frames are gone away. And again, you know, it's kind of difficult to see what's the difference between this slow motion and this slow motion. It's kind of difficult to see it right away sometimes. No, I feel it's kind of a little bit easy, because this one is really much more smoother than this one. But it's kind of really nice in QuickTime Player Pro. You can have control over the frames. As you can see here now in the timeline here, yeah, I hope you can see it. In the timeline here, you have this possibility to change between the frame number or the time. So what happened then if we go to 1 second? And the really nice thing, if you want to find exactly the 1 second place, you can also use the arrow on the keyboard, and by then you can go frame by frame. So here we are on the change between 1 second and 2 seconds, and there we are in 1 second. So if we then change this to frame number, we are on the 59th frame. Yeah, so that's correct. So if we do the same, because again I think it's so fun with the 240 frames per second, if we change this to the standard, we go to up to 1 second. I know this is a 2 second clip, so okay, I find it with the arrow key soon. Okay, I go with the arrow key. So then when we go to the frame number, we will be approximately, yes, we are in fact exactly on 240 frames. So that's really nice thing, that you have this control over how many frames. So And then back again to illustrate the fake slow. You know, this right one is kind of the fake slow motion. You know, it's done too slow. As I told you, I think but this is in my opinion that the slowest you can go is around 24-25 frames per second. And in fact, if you think this was a 30 frames per second clip, and when I slowed down this 4 times, it ended up with 7.5 frames per second. And here's the thing: if we want to have a look at this clip and this clip and compare them together, we can see that when I go 1, 2, 3, 4 frames ahead, and I do the same on this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you know, you can see the wing is going not until we have gone 4 frames. So I can go to the counting on frames here. So you can see here on frame number 3 or approximately 3 or 4, you know, then is the wing going. So then if we want to count, I'm going to do all the count all the way up to 1 second. We can go back to standard. So if I'm correct, we will have approximately 30 wing. I don't remember it in English, but you know, the wing moving 30 times all the way up to 1 second. So I go with the arrow on the keyboard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. And then, yes, exact 30 then. We are in 1 second. And if we do the same here, we can see that we then, when counting when the wing is going, 1, no, it's not going there. Okay, I start from the start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now after 2 more, it's 1 second, and then you can see it's around 7.5 frames. So you know, maybe this looks a little bit detailed, but the main thing here is that you can use the arrow on the keyboard to go frames by frame, and then have a really detailed look about how each frames look. So that was it then, I think. Yes, I think that's what it. So I hope you will be back for the next tutorial, because then we are going to talk about, okay, I have to open it so we can see it in detail. The next tutorial, we are going to do slow motion edit slow motion with the Canon 7D, and we're going to slow down the 50 frames per second, or we can say 60 frames per second, and we're going to do that in the QuickTime Pro, in iMovie, GoPro Cineform, After Effects and Premiere Pro. And I hope you will be back to then. Bye bye.